Welcome to Crowbar Depot. In our first mod review, we'll be looking at one of the most popular Half-Life 2 Episode 2 mods, Year-Long Alarm. It was created by Chuck Wilson and released April of 2012, making it his first and only Half-Life mod. The mod can be split into roughly two segments. Segment 1 plays out underground in tunnels and canals, while Segment 2 is fully overground and set in the countryside. The gameplay of Segment 1 revolves around elevators. Each one will take you deeper and deeper and will only be usable once you complete a specific puzzle. As you walk around the zombie-infested environment, finding the next elevator, you'll be greeted by many clever puzzles, mostly about throwing a grenade to a specific place to open a door or blow a pair of cables away so that you can use them yourself later on. This is very well done, as the puzzles aren't too simple, but also not too difficult or time-consuming. Furthermore, they never felt out of place. The puzzles are realistically placed and they seem natural. In the first half of the underground segment, you'll encounter lots of zombies and headcrabs. They're used in similar fashion to Half-Life 2 itself, and you'll usually find them in rather inconvenient locations, occasionally blocking objectives. However, they're not a huge danger and will perhaps leave you a bit disappointed. My health never dropped below 60, so they weren't exactly a huge threat. In the latter half of Segment 1, you'll be greeted by the Combine, who make quite the explosive appearance. From this point on, the mod follows Valve's usual formula of action sequences interspersed with slow puzzle sequences, and it is done well. Well enough that if I had never played Episode 2 before, I could easily believe this was part of the base game. Moreover, the level design is very natural and you'll never feel like you have no clue where to go or what to do. The goal is always clear, and the route to it is always simple, without feeling too linear. The difficulty here is also ramped up from the first half of Segment 1, but still a tad bit too easy when played on normal. For those seeking a slight challenge, I recommend hard mode. The underground segment culminates in a large firefight in a big space, filled with zombies, headcrabs, and various Combine soldiers. After finishing the accompanied puzzle, an elevator slowly approaches. I expected an elevator standoff like we had in Episode 1, but you won't get it. It left me with a bit of an empty feeling, and I think the ending to Segment 1 could have been done a tad better. Upon entering the elevator, you'll shoot upwards, marking the end of Segment 1 and the start of Segment 2, which takes place entirely overground. Here you'll be greeted by the mod's impressive visuals once again. Overall, the presentation of this mod is incredible. It really feels like Chuck Wilson took full advantage of the graphical potential of Episode 2, much like Valve themselves. Above ground, the Combine are your only enemy, and the mod uses them in a very clever and more realistic way, placing the soldiers behind cover and forcing them to keep their distance to the player. You'll also be able to kill them in rather exciting ways, like shooting an explosive barrel to make logs fall off a wagon. Still, all this does fall flat once again, since they're not effectively placed to be a danger to you at all. Besides the very beginning of the second segment, you'll be lucky to fight more than 2 Combine at once. As such, it's easy to just focus on one soldier at a time. This effectively turns Segment 2 into a shooting gallery. Besides, the amount of health, armor, and ammo packs is borderline ridiculous, enabling you to just slice through them like a knife through warm butter, further removing any challenge or difficulty. After solving another small puzzle, you'll be greeted by the boss fight. Don't be fooled, this is a rather cliched and very easy fight, which is too bad, considering it could have been the opportunity to give a player a final challenge. Overall, Segment 2 isn't all that long, and it will probably take you around 10 to 15 minutes, which means it's around a fourth of a total 40 to 50 minute playtime. We obviously recommend this mod, and we believe you will like it. Do not be discouraged by the lack of difficulty or the mediocre latter half of the overground segment. For this review, we focused heavily on the negatives, but don't worry, the positives outweigh the negatives by a ton. With all said and done, this mod still has incredible level design, good pacing, an amazing atmosphere, and breathtaking visuals. And as such, it's definitely still worth playing. That was it from Crowbar Depot. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more mod reviews.